Good morning. Oh, I'm tired. Where's my Celtic salt? Here it is. Y'all take your Celtic salt. Get your minerals. Make sure you have a drink close by when you take your Celtic salt. So today, the group home's coming this morning. At some point, I have to do some filming today for my YouTube video, and I have to edit my YouTube video today for tomorrow. And today at 2:00, the Coleman Chamber of Commerce has a group of teenagers. I don't really know how to explain this. I'm going to do my very best to explain this. But basically, they have to apply for this club. I might be saying the wrong words, but they have to apply to be in this club. And it's a club of, like, they have to make good grades. They're interviewed. They have to have recommendations from people in the community in order to get into this Chamber of Commerce club for teenagers. And there's like 20 something of them. And what they do is they learn how to be entrepreneurs in the community. So they go to this club, I don't know how often, once a week, to the Chamber of Commerce, and they learn like social skills and financial skills and business skills in order to be entrepreneurs in the community. So today they've been coming to my farm 3 or 4 times, maybe, like throughout the past years. So today at 2:00, there's like 20 something teenagers coming to learn what Sneed's Farmhouse is all about. And they come and interact with me to learn like some business skills and how I got to where I am today and so forth. And so, I'm excited about that because they've come before, but they stay from like 2 to 3:30. So I have that today, and that was already on the agenda before all that happened with Larry. And so I've got to balance all that today. So I said that I was going to speak today to my younger self, but I got a little bit of an interruption today. Actually, it wasn't today. It was a couple of days ago. I'm taking my glasses off, so I'm becoming blind. And so I'm going to get ready because I do have the group homecoming this morning. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, and before I get started, you know how, like, you tell a story, and then people misinterpret what you're saying. You're like, you'll say something and they're like, they have a reaction to what you say. And you're like, what? That's not what I meant. That is not what I said. But they have, like, you say something or you're telling a story, and then whoever you're telling the story to has this automatic reaction. And then they fire off at you and you're like, what? That is not what I meant. And then they're like, well, that's what you said. And you're like, but that's not what I meant. Sometimes us as human beings, there's a disconnect with explaining what we mean or using the right words. And on Monday, I was talking about Jimmy, which was the homeless man that I saw. And I triggered someone with my story. And she's decided she's no longer following me because I am judging homeless people. And I'm over here sitting on the sidelines going, where did she get that? I'm judging? Wait a minute. I'm judging a homeless person? I have homeless person in my family. Like, I'm not judging. And then all of a sudden, it went from me judging a homeless person to our veterans have no help and the veterans are homeless and there's no help in our community. And I'm like, veterans? I didn't even say the word veterans. Like, what the heck is she talking about? And I realized that I triggered her. I don't know what I said that triggered. It seemed like to me there must be a veteran in her family or a friend that has mental illness that is maybe homeless, and it's a trigger for her for what I said about homeless people. And I stopped, and I'm a human being. Even though my name's Aunt Judy and I talk about mental illness, it doesn't mean I have all my crap straight. Okay. I say it all the time. So my first reaction was to respond to her. I never said anything about a veteran. I never said anything about anybody. Like, I talked about my brother being homeless, and I talked about Jimmy being homeless, and I talked about me sitting in the car going, wonder what got them to this point. And I said, I wonder, like me, I'm afraid of being homeless. That is a true fear of mine. I never said anything about the veterans. I never judged anybody about being homeless. I know there's multiple situations that brings people to homelessness. I'm not judging anybody. So it's realize that sometimes when you're misunderstood, it sparks some type of trigger in someone that is painful. So when I talk about me taking care of Larry and how hard it is, and you're a person that's the same age as Larry, it might trigger you to go, am I doing that to my children? It's a trigger because you might be going through the same situation. Same thing with this person that I triggered about homelessness. I'm not judging anybody for being homeless. I'm afraid of being homeless myself. I, I, I would love to go help Jimmy. I know that I can't control it. I can't fix it. I'm not God. I'm not strong enough to fix anybody. Trust me, I've tried. And I think sometimes when you listen to my stories, I think sometimes people listen to the beginning of the story and they don't hear the ending. And then they're quick to judge and go, I'm unfollowing this train wreck, and I get judged. And not everyone's going to like me. I'm not for everyone. As a matter of fact, a follower bought me a shirt that says, I'm not for everyone. I'm not for everyone. I am open and honest, and I'm just not for everyone. You're not for everyone. We're just not for everyone. We're just not. And that's okay. That's okay. Not everyone is going to like Aunt Judy, And some people are going to think I'm ridiculous with the things I talk about. And some people I'm going to help. Some people I'm like, I trigger. And that is just life in general. You know, you're going to go down a path and then God's going to turn your path and people are going to get in and out of your life. And that is just part of life. So if you're the person that I triggered, I ended up, I commented back to her because I was like, why are we talking about veterans? Like, I was talking about Jimmy. Like, I mean, maybe Jimmy was a veteran. I don't know. You know, I'm not judging Jimmy. I was a little scared of Jimmy because Jimmy was talking to people that weren't in front of him. So I was afraid of Jimmy, not because he was homeless. I was afraid of Jimmy because I could tell Jimmy was on something, a substance that was causing him to talk to people that were not in front of him. Now, whether that was a mental illness or whether that was drug induced, I don't know, but I'm not judging Jimmy. But the bottom line is when you watch my lives, I'm not the live that you can come in and out of. Because if you just listen to me for a couple of minutes, you're not catching the whole gist of what I'm talking about. I'm not an in and out kind of live person. This is a more like a deep setting where you need to hear from the front to the end before you cast a judgment upon what I'm saying. But I needed to say that. Okay. What I'm fixing to say is the hardest thing for me to say. And I'm going to try to get through this. Okay. I started my Facebook page in 2019. Not on a mission to get a following. You know how everybody just starts a Facebook page to I don't know, post pictures of your kids or get to know go see your classmates or whatever. Me too. And I started getting a following and it was growing and growing and growing. And I have almost 87,000 people following me. Okay. And over the past year, as I got to know Jason and Brooke, and I got to know Lester, and I got to know Walker Family Farm, these big farms that Walker Family Farm, Lester, and Jason and Brooke have quit their full-time jobs to be a creator full-time. I've met these people. And over the past year, when Jason and Brooke came to my farm, they were like, Judy, I know Facebook is your baby, but you need to be careful. And I was like, what do you mean? They were like, they're not creator friendly. You need to be careful. Well, it went in one ear and out the other, and I continued to grow my Facebook page because what they were talking about wasn't happening to me. And then they began to tell me that Arms Family Farm, which is a huge channel, they experienced the same thing with Facebook. Arms Family Farm just got to the point where they couldn't post videos and there was no creator help going, I need help, and there was nobody to help them. And then Jason and Brooke experienced it. And then recently, Lester experienced it just out of the blue. He no longer can post videos. And this ain't going to happen to me, right? This ain't going to happen to me. Because it wasn't happening to me until this week. I feel like I've been kicked in the gut. Is what I feel like. And I have been talking to Lester and Brooke and Cassie from Walker Family Farm. I'm like, I feel like I just got kicked in the gut. because I no longer have any help with Facebook. I can't post reels. I can't post videos. I I sent a message to Facebook to say, uh, what the heck? Like, what the heck? And they responded to me, and I can't even go out to the message to read the message to find out why this is even happening to my Facebook account. So when Jason and Brooke came to my farm that time, they said, Judy, I would love to tell you that you're growing your Facebook and you're doing great, but it's probably going to end in a dead end. You need to go to YouTube. So I started YouTube a year ago because Jason and Brooke kind of forced me into it. I am like many other people. I'm stuck on Facebook. I'm scared of YouTube. I don't know how to use YouTube. That's how I was. I was like, I don't know how to use YouTube. I can't use it. I don't know how to edit videos. I don't know how to. And I had to go force myself to learn. And to this day, majority of my content is on Facebook because I'm more comfortable with Facebook. But that is ending. I have 87,000 followers on Facebook for a big fat zero for nothing. And majority of me being open to the public comes from Facebook because people know me from Facebook because they're locals. That's ending. I can't do nothing anymore. And as a matter of fact, I know it's hard for you guys to understand this because you're not creators. But us creators to go live on Facebook and YouTube, we have to pay money. Okay. I even when before I could post, I made like $7. I'm talking money, which I know is not, it scratches some people in the wrong way, but I wasn't going live for money because I literally made $7. Okay. And I was spending more than I made because I have to spend money to go live on 2 platforms. But I didn't care because it was more about the connection, reaching more people. God was calling me to do this, but everything is going south. And so just on I think it was last week, you know how I talked about my dad has always talked to me about having a plan B? I didn't have a plan B. And you see these creators that Facebook has done this to, and they have to go create a new page and start all over. Like, luckily, Lester has multiple pages. Jason and Brooke have multiple pages. They have Miss Cog Hill and they have Cog Hill Farm. Jason has, Lester has Longhorn Lesters and he had I'm a Survivor. So if one page gets taken away, there's still another page. Judy wasn't that brilliant, okay? Judy wasn't that brilliant. Judy has one page. So when Facebook decides to not let me upload anything anymore, I'm done. I'm done. Stick a fork in it. I am done. And I feel like I've been kicked in the gut. That's what I feel like. And unfortunately, if you're one of these people, they're trying to build your Facebook page and you like your Aunt Judy and think it's not going to happen to you, and you're going to spend years and years and years growing your Facebook page, and you're going to get almost 100,000 followers, and you're going to feel like a champ. Like, look at me. I have 100,000. It's going to be taken away from you. It happened to Armour's Family Farm. It happened to Cog Hill Farm. It happened to Longhorn Lester. It happened to somebody else. And there's no support. None. So if you don't listen to anything else I say, if you are a creator, You're in trouble if you just have one page. And I have spent so much time and effort into Facebook to walk away with losing all my followers. That hurts. That hurts my feelings. That hurts my feelings a little bit. And I was like, oh God, I didn't have a plan B. Oh shoot, I don't have a plan B. What am I going to do? You know, I firmly feel like I'm butthurt. I'm not going to lie. And I'm so thankful to Jason and Brooke, Lester. I don't really know Arms Family Farm. Cassie, for holding my hand and going, we've been in your shoes. And it's tough. And I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I'm like, this freaking sucks. I was like, Facebook was I don't know, it was my job away from my job. I developed friendships there, and it's all gone. Just gone. Unless, I don't know, there's this miraculous turnaround, but I will tell you that these other creators have not had this. It's not a system glitch. It's gone. It's just gone. And I'm thankful for these other channels holding my hand going, Judy, we've been there. And I'm going to tell you that I have to kind of find my way in YouTube too. Even though I've been doing it for a year, I don't really know a lot about YouTube. I'll be honest with you. I don't really go out there and watch other people, and I don't really go and scroll through the shorts or is it reels? I forget. They call it different on every platform, but I'm like you other people that are stuck on Facebook. Me too. I'm on the train with you. Changing to another platform is scary. It's scary because you're like, I'm too old to learn something new. But all these people on YouTube are like, YouTube is so easy. And we're like, no, it's not. Facebook is so much easier. I'm just like you. But if you want to support me and you want to see my videos and you want to know how Aunt Judy's doing, you're going to have to go to YouTube. And I don't know if you love me that much, because I was talking to other creators. They're like, people don't love you that much to go to another platform. And I'm like, oh, that hurts my feelings. That hurts my feelings. They're like, yeah, I know. It hurts your feelings, doesn't it? Because, we go out, when you guys comment, it's almost like when you comment a lot, we feel like we're friends with you, okay? I mean, we do. I mean, even though we've never met you in person, we're like, oh, that's Heidi, which I have met Heidi. No, I haven't met that Heidi. We're like, oh my gosh, that's Heidi. She's from, we kind of like break things down. And so when you're not there anymore, we feel like we've broken up with our friends. This is tough on me. So the first thing I would say to my younger self, would be, you're working for nothing, Judy. You're going to build this following, and then they're going to say you can't post no more. I would say, so. If you're a creator and you're trying to grow your Facebook page, once you get to about 100,000 people and you worked your butt off and develop relationships with these people, Facebook's going to say, "Nope, can't post no more. Nope, you can't. You can't." It's terrible, y'all. But I'm going to suck this up and not cry over it, because I feel like maybe God's leading me down another path that I don't know about. I mean, it's obviously happening for a reason. It's happening to all of us. It's not like it's just happening to me, you know? I mean, shoot, can you imagine how Lester and Jason and Brooke feel? Or Arms Family Farm? I'm a little peon compared to them. I mean, I only have 87,000. They had, I think Arms has 1 million. Can you imagine how they feel? To build a platform only to have it taken away from you? So, the moral to this story is, I don't know what Facebook's going to let me post. So if you love me, if you love me, you're going to have to go to YouTube. And ain't nobody sicker of this more than myself. But listen, I'm going to tell you. I will tell you this. YouTube is a much nicer place because, I mean, you still get negative comments. I mean, there's a negative Nancy everywhere you go. But you know how you get all these, "Hey, Mary, I've been admiring you from afar, and you're beautiful. Send me a private would you send me a friend request?" You know how Facebook, you get those messages? You don't get that on YouTube. YouTube doesn't do that. So I will say it's a safer place for scammers not to find, like, to scam you. I try to steal your profile and all that crap. As a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, there's another petting zoo that is up the street from me, and she probably had 8,000 followers, and her page is gone too. Just gone. Just gone. And she got all her business from Facebook because she got locals, do birthday parties and stuff like that. It's just gone. Just gone. And I messaged her and I was like, "Why aren't you posting anymore?" She's like, "I can't." I'm like, "Shut up. Are you serious?" She goes, "I can't." And Facebook won't message me back. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all. Let me stick my Mimo glasses on. Let's see. See if I can find it. Okay. This is my notifications right here. "We responded to your request. You had an issue relating it to payout," which means me posting. And when I click it to see what the post is about, this is what I get. So I can't see why I can't post. And there's this 1-800 number that you can call and go, "Hey, dude, I can't post on Facebook." Welcome to being a creator. And I see here and I think about, these bigger channels that depend They've quit their jobs to be a creator. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm sure that you can imagine, but put yourself, you know how sometimes I tell you to get into the other person's shoes? So imagine a creator and imagine all of a sudden you start, let's just say, getting paid on social media. So let's get into some of these bigger channels. Let's get into their shoes for just a minute. So you're a big channel and you start, or I think you have to have 10,000 followers to start, let's just say, getting paid on social media. I think it's, and understand, if you're not a creator, you can have 10,000 followers, but if people are not commenting and liking your stuff, it don't matter how many followers you have. I could have 100,000 people subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if only 500 people are watching my videos, it doesn't matter how many subscribers I have. Okay, so know that. So let's just say that a platform starts dangling in your face. Oh, I can't. There it is. Okay, they start, you start growing, and let's say you start getting paid on social media. So then you're like, oh my gosh, let me go buy some new land. Let me go buy some new land. I'm getting paid good money now on social media, and I want to up my game, and I'm going to go buy some new land. And you go put yourself in debt, and you go buy new land. And unless you making some cash flow, you're probably not paying cash for, let's just say, 50 acres. Let's say it's $500,000. So, okay, so you're like, man, I'm my numbers are rocking the house, and I'm fixing to go and I'm going to buy me some new land because I'm doing so well, and I'm going to expand the farm and bring more content to these creators, to these followers. And let's just say you get kind of a big head, all right? And you think you making a killing, and you're going to go, I don't know, buy a new mobile home, whatever. Okay, whatever. Or not a mobile home, RV. We're going to start touring the world. I'm making money. I'm going to quit my job, and we're going to do social media full time. Because what happens is social media dangles this money in your face, because you might make a lot of money for a couple of months, let's just say. And you're thinking, I can quit my job and do social media full time. This sounds fantastic. So then you put forth effort, because I'm going to tell you something. Do not think for a second that being a creator is not a full-time job, because it's more than a full-time job. You go from working 8 to 5 to working from 5 o'clock in the morning till 8, 9 o'clock at night, even later, editing videos, putting out content, telling all your business on social media. Like, it is I have been in high pressure jobs, and I've been a creator, and I'm gonna tell you, it is equally as hard, if not harder, to be a creator. So where people go, oh, they're just a creator. No, it's a job. We have to have a phone in our hand filming everywhere we go. It's hard. So then you get used to making a little bit of income, and then all of a sudden they go, you no longer can post. You no longer can post on my platform. And you're like, I just went and bought 50 acres for $500,000 because I've made a consistent amount of money for a couple of years, let's just say. I just quit my job, bought this land, bought these animals, and now I can't even post. Luckily, I wasn't in that situation. Luckily. But I know creators that have been. and they stay home and support their family through social media. And then, bam, Facebook says, you no longer can post on our platform. You're fired. You're fired. And you can't claim unemployment. It's hard. It's hard. And luckily, I have a husband that has enough sense to go, we will never depend on this. I will never quit my job. If you became a millionaire, Judy, I'm not quitting my job. Thank God. So it's not as detrimental to Sneed's Farmhouse, but I will tell you that it got to the point where I thought my situation was a little different because I closed my farm to take care of my dad in hopes that I would make enough money on social media to pay for my feed. And I just got fired. And I'm like, dang, I didn't listen to my dad. I don't have plan B. And I looked at Shane and I was like, I can't post anymore. And he's like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I have no clue. I have no clue what I'm fixing to do because now I only have one page and Facebook is not letting me post anymore, which means that I built this platform for nothing. And where I did get a little bit of income off posting and building my page, and I thought that I could, take this time off and take care of dad, and God's just taking this away from me. Are you kidding me right now? Excuse me. Can we have a conversation here? Like I closed my farm to take care of my dad, and now you're taking my income away. Could you please come down here to earth right here beside me and please tell me how I'm supposed to feed my animals? But you know what? There comes a time in life where you have to trust that this is happening for a reason. Like, because I sit here and I'm like, why would God take away this platform that I've worked so hard to build? Why would he just pull the rug out from under my feet? And the first thing that comes to my mind was, is it because I spend so much time on social media and I'm not spending enough time with my family? Like, is this a lesson that I'm supposed to be learning? I'm always looking. When something happens to me, I freak out in the beginning. I mean, totally lose my crap. Like, I just have a mental breakdown. And then I have to go, stop, pause, break it down. And I have to go get off by a tree by myself and go, okay, what am I supposed to be learning from this? What lesson am I supposed to be learning so that I can bring it to others? What am I supposed to be learning? And I'm searching for the answer of going, what am I supposed to be learning? Someone said I'm live on Facebook right now. That's right, because I'm having to pay for it. Mm-hmm. For me to be live right now, I'm having to pay on the platform to put it live on Facebook. So it's costing me money to be live on Facebook, just to let you know. It's not like I can just go live and not pay for it. I have to pay for it. So it sucks. But what am I supposed to be learning? I can sit here and cry and feel sorry for myself and think about all the effort and the time that I've spent in developing this platform, or I can go, okay, Dad taught me to have a plan B. What's my plan B? What's my plan B? I don't know yet. I ain't got to that point yet. But I do know that it's not poor Judy. Poor Judy. Facebook just decided to quit letting her post. Poor Judy. No, it ain't poor Judy. It's everybody. It's not just poor Judy. It's not. As a matter of fact, Jason and Brooke tried to warn me last year. And I didn't listen to them because I was, it ain't going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to fall. I'm not going to lose my Facebook page. Like, that just happens to other people. It's not going to. You know how we do? We think nothing's going to happen to us. And here I am, wearing the badge. And I told Shane, I was like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And I'm like, is God just like totally putting the brakes on everything so I can take care of Larry? Like, is he like totally stopping me from being open to the public, and he's stopping my social media so I can just sit here and stare at Larry? Like, what the heck? Like, that's the only, like, social media, y'all are my best friends. And I'm like, what am I supposed to be learning from this? What am I supposed to be doing? I feel like I just broke up with my boyfriend or something. Like, I feel like it's a hard breakup, I'll tell you that. But again, it's not like it's just happening to poor Judy. It's happening to all of us. And it's heartbreaking to all of us creators that have worked so hard to get to where we are. But I got bit by the bug too. I did. At least I'm not crying over it. I did have a meltdown over it 2 days ago. Or not 2 days ago. I knew it was happening because some things would let me post and some wouldn't. And I was like, why can't I post this? And then I realized, you got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me right now. And I'm like, do I start another page? I'm like, no, I'm not starting over another page only to set myself up for failure. No, I'm not doing that. So you can find me at Sneed's Farmhouse on YouTube. If YouTube scares the crap out of you, well, it scares me too. And you know how I tell you, like, to get out of your comfort zone and try something new? You know how I tell you that all the time? I do. I say, you should try something new. Get out. I don't care. Whatever. You need to exercise your brain. It decreases the chance of dementia. As a matter of fact, that is a quote from Larry's doctor, that he needs to do word puzzles and word searches and stuff like that, and read magazines because it exercises his brain for dementia. Okay. Let's all hold hands and go to YouTube. All you Facebook people, I'm just here to tell you, it's not here to stay. So you better go ahead and get on the bandwagon now to try something new. You know how, like, checks are going away And you're like, oh my gosh, I write a check for all my bills. Well, if you continue to get stuck in this era, you're going to get left behind. If you don't use a debit card or a credit card or Venmo or Cash App or PayPal, you're going to get left behind. You have to move with society. Yeah, it's hard learning something. Do you remember when Facebook first came out and we're like, how do you use this? You know, like cell phones came out. Remember when the flip phones started going away and we're like, wait a minute, I don't know how to use a smartphone. I don't know how to use this. And we all freaked out and our kids had to sit us down and go, okay, mom, this is what you do. You swipe up to get rid of it. You remember how you had to learn how to use a smartphone? It was out of our comfort zone. But believe it or not, that stimulation of learning something new helps with dementia. So the neurologist told us. I had to sit Larry down and show him how to use a smartphone. He was scared to death. He won't use an iPad. I'm like, the iPad is just like the smartphone. And I can't convince him that an iPad is the exact same as a smartphone. But he's too stuck. I'm stuck in this way. I can only do this because he won't get out of his comfort zone and learn something new. So I am asking you guys to get out of your comfort zone and try something new. Go follow people on YouTube. If you love creators and you love my morning talks, and if I encourage you, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone and try something new. And if you don't know how to do it, I don't either. We'll figure it out together. I'm still learning even though I have been uploading to YouTube for over a year now, I still am learning myself. So don't feel like an outcast. Like, I don't know how to do that. We'll learn together. Okay. We're going to rid our brain of dementia and try something new. Okay. Okay. You got to exercise your brain. Eventually, it'll become secondhand to you, but it does seem scary trying something new when you're set in your ways. But you got to get out of your comfort zone and try something new. I don't know what time it is. Okay, I have a few minutes. So I have felt all these new changes. The new changes of, when Larry had cancer and I had to hire someone for the farm, and then Larry declines and I have to close my farm, and then I'm not making any money, and then I have to let Kayla go because I'm not making any money. And I feel like me and Kayla broke up. Like I feel like me and you and Facebook are breaking up. It feels like everything's being taken away from me, and it feels scary. And I think about and as a matter of fact, I posted this, and I think it was yesterday. They let me post it. I put a picture of Jesus over my farm because I was thinking about how I never wanted a farm. I never dreamt of having a farm. And I was thinking about if I posted, 10 years, let's say 20 years from now, let's say I was a little girl. When I was a little girl, if God put in front of me, hey, Judy, let's just say God came down and talked to me and said, hey, Judy, I know that you're 9 years old, and I know you dream of being a cheerleader or being in dance, but I'm taking all that away from you, and you're going to own a chicken. Okay, let's just say that God came down and talked to this 9-year-old girl and said, I'm taking your dreams away from you, and I'm going to give you this life that you're going to absolutely love. And that life is going to be scoop and poop, standing in chicken coops, smelling like bull crap, Like, I'm going to give you this life. I wonder what I would have said at 9 years old if God would have come down and gave me this perfect plan of what was going to, my life was going to be like. I wonder what I'd have said. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want a chicken. Just send me to New York. I mean, I wonder what I would have said. If we knew exactly the plan that was put before us at a young age, I wonder what we would have said. Like, you know how, like, in life, when you're reflecting back on the way you were brought up, like, there's a lot of things that you say to yourself today, like something's happened to you or you turn out a certain way and you're like, if I could just go back to my younger self and tell my younger self this, or man, if I could go back and change things, I would have definitely changed this, or man, I remember that time that I did this and that was really stupid. I wish that I wouldn't have made that decision. Like, we have regrets. We have, um, we think about our past, and there's probably many different emotions that we feel when we think about being this little kid and the things that we face, the things that we've learned, the regrets that we've made. And I was thinking about me, and I was thinking about when I was a young girl. um, I remember being troubled. In second grade is when my parents got a divorce. And I remember sleeping every day in class. And I remember being woke up by my teacher saying, "You need to go to the counselor, Judy," because I'd fall asleep every day in class. And I would be sent to the counselor, and they would be trying to asking me what was going on in my home life, or why was I sleeping in class, or am I not getting enough sleep. They were trying to figure out why this little girl slept in class every day. And as I think about being in second grade, being woke up every day, and I remember waking up, like, you sleep like this on your desk, and waking up and everybody's staring at you. And I remember feeling the embarrassment, but I couldn't stay awake. And it was embarrassing to be when your teacher says, "Judy, you need to go to the counselor. Honey, you need to wake up. You need to go to the counselor." And I began to be labeled by my classmates. Judy always sleeps in class. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was just tired. I'm what are you, 8 years old in second grade? I don't know how to say I'm sitting here worrying because my dad doesn't live at home anymore. Or my dad has a new girlfriend and I don't know who this woman is and she's not my mama. I didn't know how to, or my mom was always at home and all of a sudden my mom's gone every day and I'm stuck in daycare. Like, I don't know how to say what's wrong with me. And if I went back and talked to my younger self, I think at 8 years old, I was doing the very best that I could do, considering, all that I had gone through. My dad was an alcoholic and basically cheated on my mom and left suddenly. And mom was a stay-at-home mom. And so she went from not working to, "Oh, dear Jesus, he's just left us. I've got 3 kids. What do I do? How am I going to afford daycare? Oh, shoot, I got to get out and get a job." Like, all those changes happen at such a young age, and it affected me. And I think that's where some of the mental struggle with depression and anxiety and all those things started, was in my parents' divorce. And I I think that if I could talk to my younger self, I would be gentle on myself and just tell myself that, because I see this little girl that's helpless. So I would be really gentle on myself if I could go back and talk to that little girl in second grade and go, it really sucks that your parents went through a divorce, didn't it? You know? And then to think that I would put my kids through the same thing, the exact same thing. I put my children through the exact same thing, but they were younger than me. My kids were 2 and 3 years old when me and their dad divorced. And I walked outside the marriage just like my dad. So I mimicked. Now, I wasn't an alcoholic, but I literally mimicked my dad. That's where, if I had to talk to that little girl, I say little girl, I was 28 years old when I walked outside my marriage and ran to another man and took my kids with him. And if I had to talk to that girl, I was like, I'm going to say this. When I go back and talk to that girl, I was 28 years old, stupid, dumb. You know how you are in your 20s, you know, grass is greener on the other side and all that. But my mistake, yes, was in walking outside the marriage and go into another relationship. That was terrible. It's a sin. It was awful. What I should have done was got out of the marriage first. So I would have definitely talked to that girl and go, listen, I know you're miserable, because my husband at the time was a train wreck himself. And instead of me standing on my own 2 feet and being independent and going, I need to get out of this marriage. I need better for my children, and I need better for myself. I chose to find someone to rescue me. And I think that interconnection in the brain is, as a child, I always was looking for love from a man because I didn't get it from my father. My father was sick. My father was an alcoholic my whole life. My dad was not there for me very much. He was never really there for my sporting events. Like, you would randomly see him. All the successful things that I got in high school, I was homecoming court. I won a lot of things in high school, and my dad was never there, ever. And then if he was there, he was hurry up and leaving the ballpark because he didn't want to see my mother. So, like, if I could talk to my younger self, I would have said, honey, we need to fix this running to men to rescue. You need to stand on your own 2 feet. A man can't fix it. You're hurting from the neglect of your father, your parents' divorce. We need to fix you. So I feel like, and it's like back when I was young, no one really went to counseling. You just accepted the fact that your parents were divorced and your family was different for some of your friends, or it may be alike, but it was not really accepted. So, like, I would definitely talk to myself and not depend on a man for my happiness. And it's taken me a long, long time, because if I depended on Shane for my fulfillment, I'd be in trouble. I would be in trouble, because Shane is not, Shane loves me with all his heart, but my needs don't get met by Shane because my needs are different from Shane's needs. I told you our love languages are totally different. His love language is, I'm going to go put water in every one of her barn stalls, and that's how I'm going to show her love. I don't receive love that way. I'm more, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I've had to learn Shane's love language in order for me to feel fulfilled. And I've always depended on a man for my happiness until I realized that that was a dead end. I had to stand on my own 2 feet and figure it out myself. And I just know that when I was younger, there was always that disconnect. And I do believe it came from my parents' divorce and the neglect from my father and my parents fighting all the time. And then I did the same thing to my children. I hate their dad. Hate is a hard word. I'm having to work on not hating him because I hate him. And I hate that I'm saying that I hate him, but I don't like the way he treats my children. It has nothing to do with me and his relationship. I don't like the father that he is to my children. He's hurt them, in my opinion. My kids may tell you totally different, but if I went back and talked to my younger self, I think I would be more gentle to myself, and I would try to encourage myself to get mental help. I would try to, if I had the tools that I have today, if I had those tools in my pocket as a teenager, I think that I would have been okay. I told you guys my senior year in high school, I got so depressed that I tried to take my own life. I graduated high school in the hospital, in a lockdown facility. And if I could go back and talk to that girl that was in the hospital, I would say, you've got to put tools in your pocket. And when I go back and think about my younger self, when I did that, it was because I wrote my mom a letter, a suicide note, and told my mom that I was fat. And here I am at 53 years old, struggling with the same thought. Not the thought of suicide. I don't think about that. But the thought of being fat. I'm like, wow, I'm still like talking about this? Like, really, Judy? Really? And I am. And I bet if I was 75 and could talk to my 50-year-old self, I'd be like, why are you obsessed with your weight? Get it together, Judy. Put tools in your pocket to get it together. And I've realized as I begin to walk this journey of health and wellness, I'm like, what is getting in my way from being the best version of Judy? What is stopping me from moving forward, being happy, being content with myself? And I will tell you, you have to learn yourself. What is keeping you from being okay? And as silly as it sounds, if I eat wrong, it throws my chemicals all off. It's almost like I'm an addict. One sip of alcohol and I'm done. I'm drunk. It's the same thing with me eating. It's like one wrong choice sends me off the edge and I gorge myself eating until I'm absolutely sick. I'm no different from an alcoholic. And I had to learn that it's a lifestyle change. I need, in order for me to be the best version of Judy, I have to eat right. Some people, it don't even bother. But for me, I have to eat right. If I don't, I am jacked up mentally. So I've learned to put that tool in my pocket that I have to make good decisions with eating, or I'm going to be a straight up jackleg and be off the chain, crying, depressed, in the floor, can't take care of myself because I am jacked up. I've learned that about myself. So I have to put that tool in my pocket to go, Judy, if you go in there and eat 45 cookies, you're going to be sick and you're going to be in the bed crying because you're fat. So instead of eating 45 cookies, let's be balanced. Let's try 2 cookies. Eat 2 cookies. It's just like this. I was addicted to Coke Zero. Does that mean that I never drink a soft drink again? No, but I have to drink in moderation because I'm an alcoholic. I go from drinking 1 Coke Zero to drinking them nonstop all day long. And I know that H2O is much better for me because it hydrates me versus this out of control. Like I have this obsessive out of control behavior. And I've learned that I am just like an alcoholic. I can't have 1 drink because it sends me over the edge. But I'm totally trying to introduce things in moderation because I'm trying to create balance. Going, Judy, you can never not have a cookie, but we can't have 45. Let's try 2. Okay. 2 and stop. And I'm disciplining myself because I'm putting that tool in my pocket because I watched myself at a young age struggle with this. I don't want to struggle with this at 75. And it's crazy that it's taken me 53 years to go, okay, we got to fix this. This is a serious issue. This is a serious problem. It robs you of your joy. It robs you of being the best version of yourself. And we need to fix this now. What are you going to do to fix this? What is it going to take? What is your rock bottom, Judy? When is enough? When is enough? And if you have an eating problem, you know what I'm talking about. You know how you go in there and you eat a piece of cake and you go away, you eat the 1 piece of cake and then you go away to the couch and you're thinking about another piece of cake and then you go get another piece and then you're in the bed at night sleeping and you're like waking up wanting a piece of cake. You're like me. That is how I am. If it's in the house, I can't control myself until it's completely gone. So I'm trying to create balance, and that is from discipline. Because when I eat the whole cake, I'm not the best version of Judy. My discipline has gone out the window. And I think about if I could talk to my younger self, I wished I would have had the tools in my pocket to not wait till I'm 53 to try to work this out. I would have talked to my younger self and said, dude, truly, you try to kill yourself because you're fat? Really? You know you can fix that, Judy. Like, you know that you're strong enough to fix this. You didn't have to go off the deep end. You know, like there's so many things that I would talk to my younger self about. And the biggest thing is I would have talked to myself about balance. I really would have. Keeping myself balanced because I was all over the map. All over the map. And I also forgive my younger self for the mistakes I've made. I think that I just didn't know any better. I didn't have the discipline. There's a lot of people that maybe I've hurt in my life, and Um, I just I would be gentle on myself for my younger years because there's a lot of things that I regret, but I'm not going to obsess about it. Instead of me obsessing about things that I would change in my life, I would I accept that as a learning lesson and not to do those things again. And I will tell you that uh walking outside the marriage is something that I regret because I hurt my children too. But I hurt my children because I married the wrong person and had kids with him. Because I was running after I just wanted a family because I didn't have a family. And I just wanted my own family. I wanted the husband, I wanted the children, the little picket fence and the house, and those things were so important to me. And I jumped into a marriage that wasn't from God. That's basically in a nutshell. And in the midst, because of those bad decisions, you know, there comes consequences to your bad decisions. But I'm not going to obsess about it because my children are grown now and I know that I did the very best that I can do. And the only person that I can account for is my own actions. I can't account for what someone else has done in their life. I can only go, okay, he did this, he did this, he did. But what'd you do, Judy? What'd you do? You perfect? Are you perfect? If I sat down my kids and said, oh, your dad's a train wreck, but mom ain't. Oh, no, mom's a train wreck too. It's hard for us to look at ourselves in the mirror and go, but what's your ownership? What'd you do wrong? Many a times we point the finger at other people and we don't look at ourselves to figure out what our own ownership is. And I feel like being the best version of yourself is looking from within. Does that mean you're going to be perfect? No. But sometimes the learning lesson isn't in fixing the problem per se. I can't go back and fix the problem, but I can fix the future and I can try my best to find forgiveness in my heart because I'm at fault just like their dad. I'm at fault. It ain't like, I'm the one that walked outside the marriage. I'm the one that made the decision to marry him. I'm the one that made the decision to have kids with him, knowing the fact that we were not the same. And it's my fault. So I'm to blame for that. But oftentimes, oh, it's time to go. I'm sorry, I'm long-winded today. Talk to your younger self. What would you tell your younger self? And be gentle on yourself. We were young and dumb, right? We've done a lot of dumb things. We have. But we can't go back and fix the past, but we can fix the present and the future. And that's what you need to concentrate on. Okay. I hope to see y'all on YouTube. It sucks. Maybe Facebook will change things in the next couple of days. I'm not sure. Know that I'm trying really hard to fight for you Facebook people and go, are you kidding me right now? I just lost my Facebook, but right now I can't do anything. So I love you guys. And I hope you'll get out of your comfort zone and try something new and go to YouTube because I need your support. I depend on y'all just like you depend on me for support. We have to get through this together because I feel like we're friends and I feel like we're a team. We're a team of backup dancers, including me. And I can't imagine my life without you. So Get out of your comfort zone. I'll get out of my comfort zone. And we're going to go try to learn YouTube. Unless Facebook changes things. So you guys have a great day. And remember, you have choices. You could sit it out or you can dance. And I hope you dance. I will see you guys next week. Bye.